What is going on, folks? It's been a while. Once again, the dynamic duo of Google Hangouts is back. I am the host, I guess, still Dominic Barnes, representing the Scoop. And today we will be doing our NFC preview for the NFL preview. Sorry about that, for the upcoming season. With me here, as always, is Mr. Bryan Greer. What's going on?
Oh yeah, we're back again for another season, but some things never change, as it always is with the Dallas Cowboys. After last night's news of Orlando Scandrick popping Molly,
He
a
sweat.
drug that's normally accompanied with juicy J and 16-year-olds, that's really not making me feel good about the Cowboys, and also with Jerry Jones with co-eds that could be his grandchildren. That's not, very happy. So all the Cowboys need now is basically the White House. So let's get that back together, and then we'll be ready to roll.
And no, we're not talking about the White House in Washington. Real
No,
Cowboy
we're
fans
not.
know exactly what the White House is.
That was
But
back when they were winning, though. So
yeah, so it
maybe
makes
that's too
sense.
much to ask for.
But speaking of, hey, the Cowboys, we will get to them. But I will just say, since you brought that up already, Pete Hunter is only a phone call away, sir. It's only a phone
Oh
call
yeah,
away.
that's definitely not happening. He's probably working at a Kroger right now.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. First, we will be discussing the AFC, NFC last, of course. First up, let's go AFC South. I have the Colts winning this division, and I don't want to say easily, but they will win by at least probably about 3 games. I got them going 11-5. I mean, they should be the obvious favorites. Andrew Luck, who's consistently improving year after year. They added Hakeem Nicks to an already phenomenal wide receiver core. Reggie Wayne's coming back. You got T.Y. Hilton. Now, defensively, that'll probably be the thing that hinders them this year. You got an aging Robert Mathis, of course. But with that being said, I still think that the addition of DeQuell Jackson, who by far would be one of the most underrated pickups this year, that will help them out a lot. And so, especially the linebacker, of course. So, with that being said, now they do start off the season against the Broncos and the Eagles, so it could be a chance they start off 0-2. But with everybody else in this division, the Texans, who you don't know what you're going to get out of them, they don't even know who their quarterback is going to be.
No.
The Titans, who just lives in mediocrity for the last several years. Then you got Jacksonville, who went 0-7 against playoff teams last year. I mean, there's no hope for any of these teams. So, as far as the AFC South goes, I have the Colts winning. How about you?
Yeah, I agree with you on the Colts winning this division. They should win it easily. Like you said, Andrew Luck, Reggie Wayne coming back from injury, T.Y. Hilton, and the addition of Akeem Nicks. Does Trent Richardson actually show something this year? Because last year
Ah,
after the trade from the Browns, he didn't look like he had anything in the tank. So hopefully he gets his head right, and they're just a potent offense. I got them winning this division pretty easily, probably by 4 games. I got them winning this division 12-4. Their schedule sets up for them look nice, but like you said, it does start off pretty tough with the Broncos and the Eagles. But after that, the division is so soft. Like you said, the Texans, they got Ryan Fitzpatrick starting at quarterback, which that says all. There's nothing to be said. They
okay, his
have
team gets no shot once again.
no Case Keenum. He's over there waving a towel once again, and with the Titans. Does Jake Locker finally prove it this year? I don't know. If
He can't stay healthy. So I mean,
no, he can't stay healthy. It seems that he's a good quarterback, but can't stay healthy. Got to be on the field, and their defense is going to be good, but they're going to, like you say, stay in mediocrity. And of course, the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are on the rebuild, they do have a quarterback that looks promising in Blake Bortles. I think he might be good, but overall, Justin Blackman can't stay on the field. Marquise Lee, the rookie, he's gonna probably be their top-notch receiver because, like I said, Justin Blackman, he's I don't know if he even knows where he is, but overall, they lost Maurice Jones-Drew too, so they're probably gonna
to open
be
about
last in the division. It's gonna be between them and the Texans, right? Exactly. So, like I said, I've got the Colts winning this division pretty easily.
And just to go back to the Titans real quick, considering that Jake Locker can't stay healthy, and considering who their backup which is Mr. Zach Mettenberger, yeah, it's not looking too promising. And we can't forget the fact that Chris Johnson is not there anymore, so it's not looking too good. as far
No,
as
that's
the
not.
Titans go.
Because nobody knows who their running back is right now.
Nah, I don't know.
I don't know. Eddie George still there?
Wow. All right. And on that note, they're probably looking for Travis Henry right now. But on that note, let's go to the AFC North. I got the Bengals winning this one. I got them going 10-6. Now, of course, the headline for the Bengals this year has been Andy Dalton's 6-year, $96 million contract. But people are forgetting that he's only guaranteed $17 million of that. So it's just not as, I mean, I'm not saying $17 million is fantastic, but, out of the 96, the whole 96 would be great. At least get half of that. He's not even getting half of that. So that's one thing. But with that being said, you have Geno Atkins, who's coming back after towards ACL. I think it was against the Dolphins, if I'm not mistaken. It was like, week 9 or something like that. So he is coming back. I like their run game. I think their running game would probably be, real underrated. They could probably finish top 5 as far as rushing go this year. I don't really count Jarvis Green Ellis because he don't even know how to hold on to the ball. But you got Bernard, and I do like the pickup of Jeremy Hill in the draft. I think he would be a steal for them because in LSU, he did what he had to do. They do have AJ Green, who's, like I said, is phenomenal. Now, the only thing with that is he has a contract situation. He's in his last year of his contract, in his rookie contract, and they picked up the option, for a 5th year. So once again, you don't want to be a situation to where that lingers all year, especially after seeing Andy Dalton get paid. So that could be something. Now, speaking of drafts, I don't want to butcher his name, but Darqueze Dennard, from Michigan State. I think he could end up being a starting cornerback for this team because when you look at their cornerbacks, you got Terrence Newman, who's aging.
he's still serviceable but aging.
Yeah, Leon Hall, he's coming off an injury. For some reason, Pac-Man is still there, but
yeah,
I think he could probably be the best cornerback to get in this previous draft. So I will be looking for him to start. You can book that. He should be a starter by week 1. And like I said, as far as the other teams go, you got Baltimore, who I don't really see them just doing a lot. They did get Steve Smith, and they drafted C.J. Mosley, but I don't believe in Flacco. I mean, especially after the contract he got. Yeah, I mean,
right.
I don't believe in Flacco. You got Ray Rice, who's I'm not gonna talk about that. But as far as they did get Bernard Pierce and Justin Forsett, who can take some touches away from the new slim Ray Rice. As far as Pittsburgh go, I don't even know if they know what their identity is anymore. Usually Pittsburgh Steelers, you'll think, smash mouth defense and the ground and pound run game. I don't even know. I don't even. When you look at the Steelers, you just think of mediocrity now. It's such a shame, but at the same time, I'm not even gonna discuss Cleveland because who wants to discuss Cleveland? So as far as that division go, I got the Bengals winning that one. I'll throw it to you.
Well, actually, I have to disagree with you, sir. I've got the Steelers coming back this year and winning this division 10-6. The reason being is that franchise, they seem to never have consecutive years of being bad. Le'Veon Bell, if he's healthy this year, because at the end of the year last year he was just a monster on the ground for them. They have been mediocre, but Mike Tomlin is a heck of a coach, and I think that they're really going to get it together. Their receiver core does worry me, but I think they're just going to be a very heavy run team, and they have a great offensive line. And I think if Roethlisberger is healthy all year, they're gonna still be a force. I just don't see the Bengals winning 2 years in a row the AFC North. It's just I just can't see it. Andy Dalton, good quarterback and everything. They got AJ Green, but it's just something about that team with Marvin Lewis that they're just not gonna be able to put it together again this year. I'm just not a believer. I do have them finishing second in that division. Also with the Ravens, I'm not a believer in Flacco either. I think that Flacco's just mediocre. He had a year, he carried him in the playoffs for 2 years. Wow. I'm gonna let that stay there. But anyways, like I was saying, Ray Rice, he's had an interest in all season, but he's going to be their main offensive threat. Of course, they have Steve Smith who still can get out there and do it, but I think they're going to battle it out with the Bengals for second place, and of course the Cleveland Johnny Footballs. That's not going to be looking pretty at all, because that's all that team really has, with Josh Gordon not being able to keep his head on straight, and their defense is going to be good, of course, with Harden and also with a couple of the other players they have. So
Hey,
with Hayden, I mean, and that's gonna be a good defense, but they're not gonna be able to do anything on offense this year. That's gonna be very ugly. So, like I said, I think that they probably win the division, the Steelers, by 1 game.
got to stay. All right. Nothing wrong with that. Now, the AFC West. Obvious choice would be for me. I will be going the Broncos once again. Once again, I mean, the additions that they've made, both offensively and defensively, with Emmanuel Sanders, your former Cowboy DeMarcus Ware, Aqib Talib, if he can stop hitting people illegally and stay on the field for a change, or if he can even stay on the field for a change without hitting anybody. But yeah, I mean, the addition they made to that roster is just ridiculous. I don't see why they won't win this division again. I see the Chiefs slipping. I think the storybook is probably over. I mean, you got Jamal Charles breaking his teammate's ankle, like literally, like shaking somebody and breaking their ankle in a non-contact drill. So they're injuring themselves without trying to. And you got Alex Smith saying he want an Andy Dalton-like contract when I don't know.
I don't think that's really going to be a smart decision if they do that.
Yeah, I don't see that happening either. I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers snuck in second. I do kind of see the Chargers maybe sneaking in, and coming behind the Broncos. But other than that, I just got the Broncos winning. I just don't see them getting knocked out this year. At least while Peyton Manning's still the quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with you. I actually have the Broncos winning this division too. They just made great additions. Of course, you got Peyton at the helm, but they have Julian Thomas at tight end. They got Manuel Sanders. Of course, they got Demaryius Thomas. They got just so many weapons on offense that they can throw at you. But with them getting DeMarcus Ware, who's going to have a lot more help now with Von Miller on the other side if he can stay on the right side of the law, and Aqib Talib, if he can stay healthy and, like you say, stop hitting people illegally, they're going to be a force to reckon with, because we saw last year their problem was on defense. They couldn't stop anybody when it counted. So I've got them winning, and the Chargers are going to be very good this year. I think people are not talking about
Keenan Allen, I don't even know how to. I didn't even mention Keenan Allen.
Yeah, Keenan Allen, right. Keenan Allen, of course, Antonio Gates, who never ages, and Ryan Matthews and Danny Woodhead at running back. That's going to be a very tough team. And, of course, Phillip Rivers is the most underrated quarterback in the league, who just seems year after year to put up numbers. I think it's just because of his personality, and people, just blow out of proportion instead of looking at what he does on the field. I think they're going to finish second and be probably split with the Broncos this year in their games. They're very tough when they play the Broncos. They're not afraid of them. And as far as that goes, the Chiefs, I got them slipping this year. All they have is Jamal Charles on offense. If it's less than 20 yards or more than 20 yards, saying that Alex Smith can't complete a pass. He's just a short passing game type of guy. And Dwayne Bowe, we know him. He's just mediocre. And on defense, they're still going to be good, but I think they overachieved last year, and they're just going to slip back a little bit this year. And of course, I got the always dependable Raiders to finish last place with I don't know what they have this year. There's no more Al Davis, so now they're just pathetic. They're not even funny no more. They're just pathetic, So I'm pretty sure, that the fans there are, happy that they might be moving to San Antonio, because it doesn't seem to be that the Raiders are ever going to get it together. They're just always looking at 3 wins every year. So good luck, Raiders, with that.
I'll give them 4. I'll say the Raiders probably go 4-12, but other than that, yeah. It's what it is.
They can already work on the 2015 draft.
Exactly. Now, with that being said, let's go to the final AFC East, where I got the Patriots. I mean, really know if I just need to do a lot of explanation, but I will for the sake of the hangout.
That's breaking news, sir. The
Yeah, I
Patriots.
mean, yeah, it is. I got them going 12-4. I mean, like with the Broncos, I mean, where do you start with the additions? Brandon Browner when he comes back from his suspension, Darrell Reeves, Brandon LaFell. They went and got Will Smith. I mean, keep in mind, this team was only a few Tom Brady overthrown passes from going back to the Super Bowl with a bunch of no names. He literally had a bunch of question marks on that offense. And so now you give him some receivers, and defensively, Bill Belichick somehow always seems to make whatever they got on defense, he seems to make it work to the point where they give Tom Brady a chance. And in the fourth quarter and clutch, if you just give him a chance, you almost guarantee know that he will make something happen. Now, with that being said, you got the Jets. I mean, I got 8-8, 7-9. They went and got Vic, Chris Johnson. Vic ain't guaranteed to even be the starter because they already said, they're looking at Geno Smith to be the future.
And they should.
Yeah, which they should. They went and got Eric Decker. As far as Chris Johnson go, you don't know how that's going to work out. Is he going to be right mentally? I mean, going from Tennessee and then going to that New York market, that media is crazy. And that's a whole different dynamic from going to Tennessee to New York. So we'll see how that works out. I mean, I kind of see Chris Johnson probably having one of those Randy Moss in Oakland type seasons. Looks like he'll produce, and then he just be like, he just another guy on the roster. Now, defensively, I mean, Rex Ryan always got the defense on point. Now, as far as Buffalo go, they're still a young team. And, you got E.J. Manuel out there, but he threw, 11 touchdowns and like 9 interceptions. That's not good, rookie or not. They do got C.J. Spiller and Fred Jackson, though. Now, if they can stay healthy, they can be okay. They got the whole ownership situation. They don't know who's going to own the team. They don't know if they're going to try to move them out of Buffalo. As far as the Dolphins go, they're Dolphins. So, with that being said, I'll throw it to you. Who you think is going to take the AFC East?
Yeah, I've got in a shocker. I've also got the Patriots winning this division. They're going to go 13-3, I think. Their defense is going to be better this year. They got a few guys in the draft that I like, and I think they're going to just be a force to reckon with. I think Tom Brady's really going to try to make a last run and go into the Super Bowl, and they're really going to be a tough team to beat. They're just loaded, like you said. All the guys on offense, Brady's going to be Brady. He's going to put up ridiculous numbers. He doesn't ever seem to, stop. And Bill Belichick, he is going to have that team ready. And I think they win this division easily. I've also got the Jets going second in this division around 7-9, 8-8, because Rex Ryan always got the defense playing. The defense is never going to drop. So that's what gets them there. If they just allow Geno Smith to just, develop and stop rushing him and talking about Michael Vick's start or whatever, and just allow him to just grow into his own, that'll be a lot better. And the Bills are young, but I love Sammy Watkins. If they just allow Manuel and Sammy Watkins to develop, because I think Sammy Watkins he might be actually a rookie of the year. He is so dynamic of a pass catcher. He just always seems to make plays no matter what. He's already done. I know it's preseason, but he's already done it, showing that he doesn't drop passes. And they're still going to learn, and they're still going to be, one game look good, 2 games bad. And yeah, I've got the Dolphins finishing up the rear. The Dolphins, not much to say there. You got Mike Wallace, who you never know he's going to be throwing his helmet everywhere. I like Ryan Tannehill, but they don't ever, give him enough weapons, I feel like. So, yeah, I got them finishing up the division also at the bottom. So, yeah, and the shocker, the Patriots once again win the AFC East.
And these hard-hitting decisions, it's just
it's tough. It's tough trying to say that the Patriots are going to win. Yeah, I've been thinking about scratching my head all morning about that, about the Patriots winning the AFC East. That never happens.
Nah, I mean, who would have thought? You're going out on a limb there. Now, before we move on to the NFC, coming out of the AFC to represent them in the Super Bowl, I actually have the Patriots going to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. I mean, just like we talked about earlier, like I said, they was only a few overthrown passes away from going back to the Super Bowl. And the moves they made defensively, I would take Tom Brady over Peyton Manning, because I'm pretty sure at the end of the day it'll either be between Denver or the Patriots if you had to choose. And like I said, it's just Tom Brady. I'm not even the biggest Patriots fan, but you got to respect everything that they've done, and can't go wrong with Brady and Belichick. So, and especially when you give them weapons, you see what happens when you give them weapons. You see what he did without weapons. So
exactly right.
I got the Patriots representing the AFC. Who you got?
I guess great minds think alike. I also have the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. They just have the schedule to set them up to get the number one seed in the AFC playoffs, and I think they're just going to run the table. I think Brady's going to have a great year. Like I said, Belichick, that defense is going to be improved. If that defense is improved, that's just going to give Brady more, opportunities. If they can just cause more turnovers on defense, and they're going to be very good this year. I just don't see them having a lot of, adversity with their schedule they have, and also with their division. It's just set up for them to really, run the table. And like I said, them having that home field advantage, if they have that, that's going to be hard to go to Foxborough and win. So
Especially
yeah,
in that cold weather.
right, in the cold weather, and if Peyton Manning has to go there and everything, we know how he is in cold weather. It is a factor. People stop trying to sit there and say it's not, because it's very clearly he plays different in adverse conditions. So yeah, I've got the Patriots also going to the Super Bowl representing the AFC.
All right, now let's go over to the NFC side of things. We're gonna start with the NFC South. This one was kind of a tough one to choose who would win. I got the slight edge going to the Saints, only because of I like the Jarius Bird pickup if he actually plays, but I do like that pickup. I do like that move, and you have a happy Jimmy Graham now. He's officially a tight end, but he got his money. He's happy. The Champ Bailey move was a safe, like a safe, cheap move for them, considering that their secondary is kind of suspect. So that if he has a bounce back year, they said he's been practicing and stuff, so it looks like he will be ready by week 1 of the regular season. So we'll see. But I gave them the slight edge over. I think Carolina will fall off. I don't see Carolina repeating anything that they've done. The Falcons is the wild card for me, because you never know what you're gonna get out of them. And the reason why I got them finished the second is because I'll take Drew Brees over Matt Ryan, because Matt Ryan he's too inconsistent for me. Like I said, the receiver core, you got Roddy White, Julio Jones, and that's great. You got Steven Jackson as the running back if he can stay healthy. But all that looks nice, but when you have Matty Ice, he just looked so confused last year. And, like I said, injuries were a factor, but at the same time, you're in the NFL. Injuries happen. You should be able to adjust. If you're a great quarterback, like they say you are, then you should be able to adjust. So I got them finished second, but like I said, I give the edge to the Saints only because, I can't go wrong with Drew Brees. Tampa Bay reminds me of Buffalo. They made a lot of moves. A lot of young talent on the team, but this Lovie Smith, first year, so we'll see how that works out. But I don't really just see them just doing a lot this year. Maybe in the next 2 years or so they'll try to be relevant again. But in this division, that's kind of hard. But I got the Saints winning this one by a game over the Falcons.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Saints also in this division. I think that they're going to be having an excellent year. Their division and schedule sets up outside of the division to really run the table.
Yes.
I think their defense will be better, like I said, with Jarius Bird and Kenny Vaccaro coming back from injury. They will be better, but Drew Brees is just a machine every year. He's going to put certain numbers that just make no sense. And like I said, with happy Jimmy Graham, who's just a beast, that's going to be a hard combination to stop. And also you still got, of course, Marquise and everything with Marquise Colston and everything. So it's going to be, I think, a really good year for the Saints. And I just don't see the Panthers, with all the, things they took away on the offense with, Steve Smith leaving and the rest of the receivers. That's going to be tough for them to come back. All they have now is Kelvin Benjamin and Greg Olsen. And even though Benjamin does look good so far in the preseason, that he's still a rookie. So it's going to be tough for them to be good. On defense, they're going to still be awesome because Luke Kuechly is just an incredible player, and of course Greg Hardy. So I think that they're going to finish second. I've got them finishing second because I think that Cam Newton's going to win some games for them, probably a few, but there's not enough on the offense to repeat what they did last year. And I've got the Falcons going third because their defense is still a question mark. I just don't know what they're ever going to do on defense. But if Julio Jones and Roddy White do stay healthy, and if Steven Jackson ever meets the field, maybe he can do something this year. But yeah, that's what I've got right now on the Falcons. And as far as the Buccaneers, their offense, they've got Vincent Jackson, they've got Mike Evans, but who's going to play quarterback? I think it's Gleason, but they still need time to develop him. And seeing if he's the real deal. So I've got them because it's such a tough division, finishing last in the NFC South.
Only reason why I got the Falcons finishing second is because due to all the subtractions on offense and Cam Newton here, mentally,
he does.
Will this be the year he finally steps up and be the leader that we think? Like last year, you saw glimpses of it, but when they started losing, it was more about what the team didn't do over what he didn't do. You see what I'm saying? That's not what you want.
Yeah, he's got to. It's time for him to grow up and start, being consistent with his attitude.
Exactly. So for me, that's why I got them finishing third. But I do defensively, that would put them over the Falcons. But like I said, that's why that scares me. When he's supposed to be the leader of your team and he still has maturity issues. I don't want to care about his age. If he's elite, a quote-unquote elite, like some people were trying to call him last year, then he needs to grow up mentally.
Yeah, there's no excuses. If he wants a big-time contract, he needs to, perform like it.
Exactly. Otherwise, they can go get Rodney Peete and have him play quarterback. All right. So I'm gonna switch this one up. We're gonna talk about the NFC West. I'm gonna let you go first because I am very interested in what you have to say about the NFC West. I'll let you go first. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, this is a murderer's row division. This division is four teams that just beat each other up with tire irons. I love this division. Actually, I have the 49ers win this division. The reason being is because of all of the new rules against contact. I think that the 49ers, because of their linebackers and their defensive line, they're just going to be just have it. Patrick Willis and Aldon Smith. I think that they're going to just be incredible this year. They're playing with a chip on their shoulder this year after the way that the Seahawks, embarrassed them and just in the NFC Championship game. I got them winning division by one game over the Seahawks. Probably, I would say 11-5. And the Seahawks, I got finished in second. They're going to be a force to reckon with. But Marshawn Lynch, I'm worried about him. Now he has all these issues off the field and is his head in the game because he is their offense. Not that Russell Wilson isn't a good quarterback because he is a very good quarterback, but, they set the run up to get the pass going. And I think that they might slip back a little bit this year on defense. They're still going to be great. Of course, Big Sherm, a.k.a., Richard Sherman, he's going to be a very good, player. He's always going to lead that defense. You've got, of course, the greatest safety in the game, Earl Thomas, Averill on the line and everything. They're going to be very good, and they're still going to be up there. At home field advantage. That's going to make them very tough to beat at home once again this year. They're going to be very tough, and I've got the Rams finishing right behind them. The Rams defense is scary. You've got Robert Quinn, Chris Long, Ogletree. I mean, you can just go down the line of players they have. Their defensive line is going to be scary. I can't wait to see them play the 49ers and the Seahawks because they're going to be right there. If Sam Bradford could ever stay on the field and they could ever just have a fully healthy team out there, they could be really scary. But I don't know if Sam Bradford's ever going to prove it because this is the year. There's no more chance for Sam Bradford. So they're going to finish right there, right outside the playoffs again, I think, this year. And then finishing up with the Cardinals, who are not going to – they're a great team, too. I mean, their defense with Patrick Peterson, Darnell Dockett, and then, of course, surprising last year with, Palmer and Fitzgerald and Michael Floyd. They're going to be good. No team in this division is probably going to finish under 8-8. It's going to be a very good division once again this year because all teams have great defenses, and the offenses are what's going to separate these teams, and who can, in the division, who can try to sweep a team in the division is going to make who wins the division. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this division play each other every week because that's going to be a battle.
With all that being said, I have the Seahawks winning it again by 1 game. The team is young, especially on defense, but at the same time, the team camaraderie, that's what impresses me the most. I do agree with you. The rule change as far as contact, that can hurt them only because of the way they play. But these are all smart dudes, both offensively and defensively. I can see them improving. Russell Wilson will only get better. I do like Zach Miller. I've always liked Zach Miller. Doug Baldwin, he showed that he can play. And the only question mark will be Percy Harvin, because you know how that goes.
Yeah, can't stay healthy.
Yeah, so that'll be the only thing. But like I said, you saw what Doug Baldwin did in his absence, and so with that, and defensively, we can talk about that defense all day. They're great. Only thing, once again, same thing with Carolina. With San Francisco, I don't like the fact that Colin Kaepernick's ego is already out of control. Like, after that first year, like, he just felt like he was a man already. Like, he just achieved greatness just so soon, so quickly. And my thing is, like, as far as the defense goes, defense will be great. But as far as him go, like, I'm worried about him in the pocket. See, I don't know why people just act like he's such a great quarterback. People talk about his running, his scrambling more than they do his actual throwing ability. And we saw when he played the Seahawks, decision-making was horrible. He literally threw the same little touch floating pass twice. First time it got picked off. The second time it almost got picked off. He literally threw the same pass 2 times, when it matters the most. And, so with that, I don't trust, I don't trust him. Like I said, his ego, with his ego and his decision-making, like, if he improves that, then yes. But at the same time, if he acts the same way he did last year, then I don't really see it. They do have a lot of weapons around him to try to blanket that. But at the same time, he'll be more quick to hike and take off running instead of, like, trying to make the best decision and then use his legs. So that kind of scares me a little bit. I agree with you with the Rams. That line is phenomenal. But, the Sam Bradford situation, you don't know if he's going to stay healthy. Only thing, their secondary is a little suspect. So their defensive line will literally, like, have to get to the quarterback as soon as possible. Otherwise, the cornerbacks will be getting burnt. As far as the Cardinals go, it's kind of a tough one for me. Like, I just can't believe that Carson Palmer would do the same thing twice, especially this Carson Palmer. Like, the year he had last year was totally out of nowhere.
Yes, nobody saw that coming.
Yeah, because I sure did. When I started, I was like, well, considering who that quarterback was, I was like, all right, Carson Palmer. But, you do have a healthy Larry Fitzgerald. You have Patrick Peterson, who got paid, got his contract. Don't forget about, the Honey Badger. When he come back, that's extra athleticism on defense. So I agree. This might be the funnest division to watch this year.
Yes, these teams are complete.
And so it could be a situation where 3 teams come out of that division as far as playoffs go. Now, that would be great if that happened. But at the same time, it's like, it's kind of hard to choose. If I had to choose, the Rams and the Cardinals would be the ones that not go. But I would probably slightly take the Cardinals over the Rams if I had to. But with that being said, like, I agree with you. I got Seahawks win this. I got the Seahawks win. You got San Francisco, but this division will be fun to watch. Now, let's go to the NFC North, and I might shock you with this one, but I actually have Chicago winning this division. I think that Jay Cutler will finally start to show off his Vanderbilt education and start making better decisions with his passing.
He better.
And they got Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey, who could be one of the best wide receiver tandems playing right now. That's up for debate, but me personally, I do like those two. Defensively, they lost Julius Peppers and they replaced it with Jared Allen. Only thing about that is, Jared Allen is used to playing, in the dome, really kind of controlled climate, What is he gonna do once he get in that cold? Consistently, consistently, that cold and that snow that slows you down. He's up in like mid-30s if I'm not mistaken. So
Yeah.
so he's already slowing down. That weather is not it's not gonna help you at all. And, as far as the Packers go, they haven't won the division 4 times in a row. Last time they won it 3 times in a row was from I think the last year was 2003, but they never won the division 4 times in a row. And I'm not saying they're gonna have a down year. I just don't see them winning the division. 'Cause like I said, you got a healthy Aaron Rodgers, you got a happy Jordy Nelson, and we've seen what they can do even with injuries. Even when somebody's injured on their team, they always find a way to sneak into the playoffs or just still be able to compete. So I'm not expecting them to have a bad year at all. Aaron Rodgers will be Aaron Rodgers. Now, the wild card for this team is the Detroit Lions. They look fantastic on paper. If you play, you pick them in Madden, you'll have the ultimate Madden team. But as far as putting it together, I just don't see it happening once again. I don't believe in Matthew Stafford, and I still think this team is probably one of the most undisciplined teams I've ever watched in the last few years. So with that being said, they might surprise me. Hopefully they do. Prove me wrong, Detroit. But at the same time, with the roster y'all have, y'all shouldn't struggle as much as y'all do. So I got the Lions win this division. Who you got?
I've got pretty much the Packers win this division because Aaron Rodgers, when he's healthy, he just carries the team. He is so pinpoint laser when it comes to getting everybody together and just getting everybody on the same page. Jordy Nelson starts in the backfield. They're going to still have Randall Cobb out there. They're gonna be a really good team this year. And on defense, I think they'll be a little bit better this year. They're going to be a force because as long as they can keep Aaron Rodgers healthy, they're going to be around. And I think that it's going to be a battle with the Bears this year. I think that the Bears are going to be very good also. I think that the Packers win this division by 1 game, with the Bears probably being right there. The only thing with the Bears is Jay Cutler's decision-making in the clutch. I still cannot get there with him. If he does it, then they're finally over that hump. But it's just I can't trust him over Aaron Rodgers when it comes to the clutch. And they need to really rely on Matt Forte, to really run that offense because Alshon Jeffrey's great player. Brandon Marshall, great player, but they've got to run the ball and control the clock, I think, because their defense is going to come to play. They always get turnovers and pick the ball off. Tillman and all the other players they have on defense. Of course, with Jared Allen now on there, let's see how he is. Like you say, he's starting to slow down, but does he step enough in the tank where he makes that defense go? So hopefully, for the Bears' sake, that they do. And again, the Lions, the team that is always supposed to do something. Always supposed to do something. I can't trust Matthew Stafford. Even though he has the best receiver in the league in Calvin Johnson, I do not trust him. He just always seems to do something crazy. And know that they finally got rid of the coach and got in there with can't think of his name right now, the new coach, but it's just really
right?
yeah, right. Oh no, not calling from college, just the guy who worked under Tony Dungy, who used to be the coach.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that the Lions, it's going to be a good year, but not enough to just overcome the Bears or the Packers. So I've got them around 8-8 like normal, just giving games away with stupid turnovers. And Dominic Sue, another great player, but he's definitely a Lions player. One good play, one dumb play. So them, and then of course bringing up the rear will be the Vikings because they have a rookie quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater. Again, they're just going to be going with Adrian Peterson. So there's not going to be pretty much anything else. They're going to be in a rebuilding year. I do like them getting the new head coach up there. I can't think of his name, the former defensive coordinator for the Bengals. So I think he'll be a good head coach for them and get them in the right mindset and get that team together. If they just give it time to let Teddy Bridgewater develop and Adrian Peterson. Just keep him upright because he's going to have a great year.
Exactly. Now, last but certainly not least, the NFC East, which I will let you go first because I just know how much you love talking about the NFC East. So I will let you go first, sir. Who you got coming out of the NFC East?
Oh, well, yeah, I don't know what you think I like talking about this division. I definitely don't. But anyways, hurts my heart to say I've got the Philadelphia Eagles wins division pretty easily. Got them going 12-4. Yeah, this division right here, the Eagles, they now have Darius Sproles, which I think should be illegal to go with, LaShawn McCoy, that's going to kill teams from the backfield, and also with the Riley Cooper, who's underrated. Yes, he is underrated. People don't get mad about that. Jeremy Maclin, they're going to be good. I know they lost to Deshaun Jackson, but they're going to be very good on offense. Chip Kelly has an offense, which the NFC East definitely needs, because I don't know if any other coach really has a system going, and I think they're really going to be good. Nick Foles, he's going to be a really good quarterback again this year. Stop with all the names and stuff. The guy goes out there and works. He doesn't need to, have the cameras in his face. I really love his work ethic and how he just goes out there and gets it done. And I got the Eagles win this division pretty easily. They're just going to just kill teams with speed going down the field. They will be better on defense. They did get, some guys in the draft, and I think that they'll be better. And I pretty much have the wins division pretty easily. But finishing second, I've got the Giants. I think Eli Manning will have a little bit of a bounce back year. Tom Coughlin, I don't think he's going to allow the Giants, and under his reign, they've never had back-to-back bad seasons. I think he will get that defense back in order. And Victor Cruz, he's a great receiver. They're going to be good. I don't think Eli Manning's going to have the same year as last year, even though some people feel he won't. And in third place, I've got the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know how they're going to be in third place, but somehow I think that the Redskins will be worse than the Cowboys. The Cowboys, I think Brandon Wheaton's going to play some games this year. Romo's not healthy. Anybody who tells you that, they're crazy. Their defense is pathetic now that Orlando Skendrick is out for the first 4 games of the season, and then one of those games against the 49ers and the Saints that he will miss. So those games might be actually put in the movie theaters for NC-17. They'll be so violent. They might set all-time lows on their defense, because now they don't have DeMarcus Ware. They don't have Sean Lee, who's out for the year. Like I said, Orlando Skandrick. So anybody who wants to play defense for the Cowboys, give them a call. I'm pretty sure they'll be happy to hear from you. And on offense, Bryan, of course, he's going to be incredible this year again. And they're going to have to rely on DeMarco Murray. DeMarco Murray is going to have to be the focal point for them to have any success on offense, because Tony Romo's not going to be able to move around like he did last year. With them starting out the season with the 49ers, that's going to be tough, because I'm pretty sure Patrick Willis is licking his chops to go at Tony Romo and come around the corner. So their offensive line is the strength of the team, and so DeMarco Murray is going to have to stay healthy this year, which we've never seen. So that's probably not going to happen. And finish out this division is the Redskins with Jay Gruden, the new coach. I don't know how they're going to look on offense. Is RG3 going to be able to look good in a regular pro-style offense without the option that he has normally was in before that with Mike Shanahan and with their defense? Yeah, exactly. That's what he wanted. So here it is, RG3. Let's see if you can do it. So, on their defense, I don't know if D'Angelo Hall and those guys are going to be able to, come back this year and be as good as they were. Because actually last year they weren't that bad. It was because of RG3 not fully healthy. So it's going to take some time. They need to be patient there. Let Jay Gruden, get his offense in order. And, Deshaun Jackson, of course, he's going to be good, for them. But is his head on straight? Because we know with Deshaun Jackson, after it came out last year with the Eagles, that he has a lot of things that he was doing, and people need to stop saying that it was overblown. No, there's a lot of people that seem to say that he had a lot of things off the field that were keeping him preoccupied from getting the job done. And Chip Kelly would not just let a Pro Bowl receiver go if it wasn't something serious. So, yeah, this division, like I said, I've got the Eagles probably finishing this division by 3 games, probably 12-4, because they're just stacked on offense, and they're just going to run away with this division.
I couldn't have said it better myself, but yeah, I have the Eagles winning this one. I got them going 11-5, actually. I mean, it's everything you said on offense. For me, I just have to see the system and Nick Foles do it again, because, like I said, once teams have the film and can sit on it for a year and watch it for a year, then let's see if it works. However, with that being said, considering the other teams in the division, I mean, they'll still look pretty good. Defensively, that's kind of a question mark for me. As far as the secondary go, they did get Malcolm Jenkins, to replace Patrick Chung. kind of a wash. But like I said, offensively, they are going to score points. And, if the line can at least put enough pressure on the quarterbacks to give the secondary enough time to be able to hold the receiver, then it'll be even better than I expected. But like I said, I got them going 11-5. As far as second go, it's kind of a toss-up. I actually will shock you and go with the Redskins finishing second, but it's like a far second. Like, like I said, this is the first time that the Washington Redskins had looked good on paper, and then they failed horribly. But I just, without the losses on defense that the Giants has, and you got Chris Snee retiring, which is huge than what people are giving the credit for, because that was the man who used to make sure Eli don't get knocked on his butt. But with him being gone, Eli's going to be Eli. His numbers don't, he doesn't always have the best numbers, but at the end of the day, when the fourth quarter comes around, he always ends up producing. But I actually have the Giants finishing last. I do have your Cowboys finishing third, only because it's by default.
There's no reason. No, there's no reason to sit there and try to say the Cowboys are going to have anything worthwhile.
I do like I said, offensive-wise, they got Dez, they got DeMarco. They drafted Devin Streets if he actually plays the game. The receivers look nice, but at the same time, you don't know who's going to be throwing the ball to these receivers.
Exactly.
And with that being said, like I said, I got them finishing third, just barely in front of the Giants, but there's really just not that much I can say to convince you they'll be no better than third. I'm sorry. I don't know.
No reason to apologize. This is the truth.
So, yeah, I got, Eagles first, Redskins 2, Giants at the bottom, Cowboys 3. With that being said, as far as who's coming out of the whole NFC East, I have Seattle going back to the Super Bowl. It's kind of a tough one, but I actually got them going back to play the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Who do you got coming out of the NFC?
I have the 49ers, even though it hurts me to say that. Yes, I have the 49ers. I think Colin Kaepernick will look a little bit better this year. Frank Gore in the backfield. They're so loaded with Crabtree, as long as he stays healthy this year. And of course, they got Anquan Bolden on defense. They're just Patrick Willis, Alden Smith. Those two guys right there are going to wreak havoc. I think they're going to play with a chip on their shoulder. And they just have what it takes, I think, on defense to bring it through. I think they're going to cause a lot of turnovers this year, and they're just going to cause havoc. I think, Jim Harbaugh's a heck of a coach. He always seems to have those guys ready to play. So I think that they're going to edge out everybody and make it back again to the playoffs and to the Super Bowl.
All right. So with that being said, my Super Bowl is the Seahawks and the Patriots. I actually got I would have the Patriots winning it all this year. I said, Tom Brady knows, his career is winding down. The window's getting a little bit, it's closing a little bit. And with all the additions that he has, as far as offense go and the way the defense looks, I don't know. It'll be good to watch. But as far as it'll come down to Brady versus Russell Wilson. I can't choose against Brady if that's the case. So. With that being said, I would actually have the Patriots winning it all this year. Who you got?
Yes, I'll agree with you on that. I guess we're working on this together because the Patriots also have winning the Super Bowl this year. I think this is one of those last runs for, Peyton Manning and, Bill Belichick together. I'm sorry. Oh, wow. Tom Brady and Bill Belichick together. Wow. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, exactly. I don't think that'll ever happen. If it does, that'll be some real breaking news. But, yeah. I do think that, Tom Brady's going to have a fantastic year, and Bill Belichick's going to have that defense going because Tom Brady's going to have that offense clicking. And I think if they make it back to the Super Bowl once again, this time they're going to get it done, and they'll edge out. It'll be a fantastic Super Bowl between them and the 49ers because of that defense. That matchup between Brady and Patrick Willis and Alden Smith is going to be must-see if that does happen. So, like I said, I also have the Patriots win the Super Bowl and legitimately putting the Patriots as a dynasty forever.
And with that being said, as far as my pick for MVP this year, I don't want to sound like a Patriots stan, but I got Tom Brady winning the MVP award. It just seemed like we're just I'm a Patriots fan, even though I'm not. But I just see him having just one heck of a bounce back year. I don't want to call it a bounce back year because he didn't really have a bad year last year. But by Tom Brady's standards, it was, it's a little average. But, with like I said, with the additions that he got on the team, I just see him having just a phenomenal year. I'm not saying what was that, '07 when he had Randy Moss type year or anything like that. But I just see him just going berserk. And like I said, he knows with quarterbacks like that, he just got that feeling. He was watching the tape and like, man, I know I could have do that better. Or, a lot of the reasons why they didn't go to the Super Bowl is because he had a lot of passes that was not like him. There was a lot of uncharacteristic Tom Brady like mistakes, and I think he's gonna fix that. And so yeah, I got him winning MVP this year.
Actually, I have Drew Brees winning MVP this year. Coming off of last year, he was very good. 39 touchdown passes, and looking at their schedule and in that dome, I think he could put up tremendous numbers. He has Jimmy Graham, Marquise Colston. He has Mark Ingram. Seems like he's finally got himself motivated, come out of the backfield and start doing some things. I think he's going to put up a tremendous year. And remember, he has teams like the Falcons who have no real threats on defense. He's going to be playing the Cowboys. That game might be put on, like I said, might be put on NC-17 in the movies because that game he might go for 1,000 yards passing. So I think that he's going to have a great year because that schedule sets up for him to just put up ridiculous numbers. So, yeah, that's who I have at MVP.
As far as Defensive Player of the Year go, I'm going to let you go first. Who you got?
I've got Robert Quinn for the Rams, a defensive end. He had 19 sacks last year. I think he only gets better. I mean, he could have been Defensive Player of the Year last year. He was just out of this world if they had any kind of offense. I think with the other guys, Chris Long, Ogletree, that defensive line is going to be incredible. And I just think, again, if Tony Romo plays when they go to play at St. Louis, he might get 5 sacks that one game, literally, because that guy is incredible when it comes off the line. So, yeah, that's who I have and one of the reasons I have him is because of the new rules of illegal contact for the quarterbacks. I would go with Richard Sherman, but I just can't. I think the penalties this year are going to stack up against guys like him or Patrick Peterson or, Joe Hayden. So I think that Robert Quinn is going to have an outstanding year and just really have a breakout season.
For my Defensive Player of the Year, I actually have Cincinnati Bengals linebacker Vontaze Burfict. He had 171 tackles last year. We all know his story. He was undrafted. They showed his story, but he was undrafted. Kyle Marvin Lewis, and that was like one of the smartest thing Marvin Lewis has done in a while by giving this dude a chance. But
yeah, too bad he came in when he was managing the clock.
Yeah, exactly. But ever since he got in the league, he's just been on a tear. His rookie season was 2012, I want to say. But he had 171 tackles last year. I know that was leading or one of the top, but he's in contract year. He's only going to get better. He wants to show that he's playing with a chip on his shoulder, by going undrafted. So to him, he's going out every game like he has something to prove. And so for me, that's what you want to see in a future Defensive Player of the Year. So that's why I will be going with him. And that's my Defensive Player of the Year.
Well,
thoughts, comments, concerns?
Oh, no, I have no concerns over that. That's a good pick. Only concern I have is how many weeks will it be before the Cowboys just finally give us a franchise this year? I think this might be the year. That's about my only concern because 4, okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, yeah, because that's the week they play the Saints, I think. So yeah, I think they'll be perfectly fit for a grave.
After that Saints game, they probably just give up all hope and just be like, well, better luck next year.
Yeah, they might, go ahead and try to get a rap label together, Cash Money Cowboys.
Wow. Touche.
They're doing Molly. They got Jerry Jones groping girls. Hey. All they need is a White House, and they got a record label. Birdman, hit them up.
Yeah, cue the Birdman hand rub. I mean, hey, they opened up the way. Hey, you see what happened when they had the White House open? They was winning.
Yeah, need to bring it
back.
Y'all
need to do something else, Yeah, maybe just have Romo and Dez and Olive in the White House just going in.
Just going in, Hey, got to win at something in life.
This joke is so great because only real NFL fans will understand what we're talking about. This joke is just so great. This can go
Yeah,
on
yeah. At
for
least with the
hours.
Raiders, at least they're still interesting and funny. The Raiders now that Al Davis has gone to another world is yeah, they're just pathetic. So good job, Jerry Jones and Orlando Scandrick for keeping the Cowboys funny, but still pathetic on the field.
You know it's bad when the Cleveland Browns are more relevant than you. With that being said, that will
Oh
be
boy.
the end of our show. That will be the end of our show, people. We hope you enjoyed as much as we, enjoyed making it. It's been a while, but we will be back. Once again, I am Dominic Barnes. You can catch me on Twitter at FreshieSnipes21, and with me, as always, that guy right there.
Oh yes, Bryan Greer. You can always catch me on Twitter at crunch_TYME.
Shout out to the Scoop. You will be able to watch this on thescoopzone.com. Follow the page on Twitter at tweetthescoop. We will catch y'all again. We will see y'all later when it's time for the season to kick off. Peace.